Hello YouTubers, welcome back. I'm spending more time looking at this metal box, and I'm looking at capacitors. I've already got one capacitor wherever the value is. I'm going to change, which is, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'll just get a pointer so I can show you. It's that one there. There's the lead for it there. And there's that one there. It's a black one. And it goes through to here, to ground. I'm going to change that one anyway because it's in an awkward place. But what I'm looking at the moment, if we turn it over, trying to turn the camera slowly, there's a good view there. Okay. Can you see inside there? We've got this capacitor here. Can you see my pen going in and out? There you go. That capacitor there, and this one here. Now looking at the schematic, we've got 14 PF, which is C12, and C10, which is a 50 PF. Now it's out of circuit, so the tuner there, it's not connected to the tuner because that's a tuner symbol, variable capacitor. So we haven't got to worry about that because it's out of circuit. But I'm getting some weird readings off this. So what I want to try and do is separate that capacitor at the back and test it again, because it's coming up as a short. Now I don't know if that's because it's across the coil or not. I would assume it is. So I need to clip a lead and find out what the true value is. So what I'm going to do is probe around inside here and check the rest of these capacitors. And once I've done that, and then we'll be sorting out getting this back together again and get it back into circuit. So I'm going to do that now. I'm not going to film me testing every single capacitor, but that's just a little update as to what's happening. Okay. Now that capacitor goes through a hole in the side of the metal case, which goes onto the tuner. I've tested again, and I didn't realise that I didn't have my capacitance meter calibrated. It's supposed to be 50 PF. That's close enough for me. So I have to test the other one now, which I'm interested in. That was reading a short. So I reckon that's probably the one that's across a coil maybe, which will give me that kind of reading. So I need to clip one of the leads off. It's easier said than done. Clipping the lead off is easy. It's getting it all back together again afterwards. So we'll have to make a coil of wire to put over it and then solder it back. So I'll do that next. Right, I've tried to unsolder it. It was wrapped around the wire from the coil on the stub to the ground, which I didn't know. Made it very difficult. In the end I put it back and I've cut the wire. Anyway, it's now separated out of circuit and we have tested it, and it's 14.5 picofarads. It's supposed to be, where are we, 14. It's now gone to 14.6, so that's spot on. But I've damaged another component with the soldering iron, so that part has to come out. Not happy about it, but we just melted the side of it with the soldering iron. Never mind. So we replaced that. So if you look at the values of the capacitors I've tested so far, it's looking pretty good that all these capacitors are looking pretty good, apart from the one that's along the bottom there. I want to test that. So all I have to do now is to replace the capacitor I damaged, test that capacitor at the back, the black one. I don't know if we can see that on here or not. Just running along, see that 1K resistor, and there's my new resistor and another one going off, and then underneath there's a wire going along, and it's underneath, see that black one, and then you've got a ceramic there, and it's connected to there. I want to test that for definite, but these ones seem to be pretty much on tolerance so far. I haven't found one bad one yet, apart from the one that I burnt with a soldering iron. It's well, I don't know if I can show it. Hang on, just remove these leads. There it is there, can you see it? I'll just put it down so I can point so you can see what I'm on about. It's cack-handed anyway. It's this one here, we're through to the silver marker inside. So I think, depending upon what the value of this is, I think the only cap I've got that's going to be good enough for this, because of the frequencies, is a tantalum. I might put a tantalum in there, but I've got to get it in the right way around, where this one can go in any way around. But I'll have a look through my stash and see what I've got and what I can utilise. I'm not happy about it, but there you go. Try and do this in camera without my hands being all in the way. There we go, we've got our coil. There we go, we've got our coil. So that's that in there, been soldered. Yeah, oops, that bit there soldered. So now we're going to use our coil. Right, I've soldered the part in, and it's a good solder connection, but it looks messy. But it's best I could do with the space I had. Now I'm going to have to fix this capacitor here. Whoops, let's get it in camera. This one here. Need to replace that. Right, we have found a capacitor that's spot on the value that we want. It's a tantalum teardrop, which is this fella here. But it has a plus and a minus, so it has to go in the right way. So to make sure we've done that, I've marked the schematic, positive and negative. And if you follow it along, there's the positive going all the way along to here, and then down to here. So it's positive, and this end is minus. Yeah. So all we have to do now is find this in the box to make sure we get the capacitor around the right way. So that's what we're doing next. And it's smaller than the one that's come out, so it should be easier to fit, in theory. You know, these things happen. You will make mistakes like this. And I'm no expert, as you can probably tell. I'm learning as I go along on a lot of this stuff, and it's stretching my brain, which is what we need. You know, I need to do this kind of stuff more often. I haven't done it for a long time, so I'm glad that I'm back doing it again. And that's thanks to John. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even considered getting a camcorder and doing this. You know, and a lot of this is through him, through his help, through his YouTube clips that he's done, and the videos that he's done. And I'm now trying to apply this to my radios, you know. So in for a penny, in for a pound. So let's have a look at this part and see how we can fit it into our box.